What's up, B-Sheets? Hi, y'all. It is 6 p.m. on Wednesday night, and I have plans later tonight. Ew, why did I do that? I hate myself. B-Sheet. Oh, I can hear my own voice. I hate when this happens. Hold on, let me just turn off the sound. Oh, God. Okay, so anyway, hi to anyone watching. I am going to do a live stream right now, obviously. Doing one, God, I'm a mess. Because I am freaking out, because Haters Back Off season 2 comes out tomorrow on Netflix, and I'm freaking out. I'm just really freaking out. We keep saying it comes out Friday, because it technically does come out on Friday. However, how Netflix works is when they say the day that a show comes out, it actually comes out at midnight Pacific Standard Time at the start of that day. So it comes out on Friday, but technically Friday is tomorrow night at midnight. Like, that's when Friday begins. So tomorrow, for me, that's tomorrow, because I stay awake until like 3 in the morning. So for me, that means tomorrow at midnight, my show comes out. And I woke up this morning and was like, oh, 2 more days. The show comes out on Friday. How did that happen? Like, that happened so fast. And I was like, wait, 2 more days. That means tomorrow my show comes out, and I'm freaking out. So I saw a lot of you guys on Twitter say, like, hey, if the show comes out on Friday, you have 2 days to live stream the last 2 episodes of season 1. Because last year, hold on, I want to make sure that y'all are watching. Let's use the hashtag, I will do, everyone's saying, Haley said, I'm going to do a live stream right now. A dead emoji. I know. I'm a mess. Okay, so anyway, let's do a hashtag. I don't know. You guys are better at hashtags than me. Tweet me some hashtags and I'll just pick one at random. But basically, last year when season 1 came out, I said I was going to live stream every single episode and tell you guys behind the scenes of every single episode, like what secrets and deleted scenes and drama and whatever happened on set, I would tell you about. And I did it for every single episode. And then, except for I haven't done 7 and 8. And I promised I would do it all before season 2 came out. I actually promised I would do it all last year, and I failed that. But the show comes out Friday, so I need to live stream episodes 7 and 8. So how this works, a lot of you will be like, I'm not interested in this, and I'm going to click out, and that is fine. I will not be offended, although I do wish you would stay, because I do think you might find it interesting. Or maybe I'm just conceited, and I think it's interesting when it's really boring and not interesting. But basically how it works is I'm going to pull up my Netflix on my television, and you guys can pull up your Netflix on your television or your laptop or whatever. And we watch the show together, we watch the episodes together, and I'll tell you to pause. And they'll be like, oh my God, when we shot this scene, I had to fart really bad. And I'll tell you little inside scoop and behind the scenes information. So let's see. Brian said, Haters Back Off tomorrow could be a good hashtag. Finish season 1, HBO tomorrow, Haters Back Off V2, Haters Back Off 2, 1 day left. I don't know. It took a year. I like it took a year. Evan at Unity Grande said, hashtag it took a year, because it literally did take me a year to do this. So let's do hashtag it took a year. So if you want to tweet me, use the hashtag it took a year. And I'll be looking at my Twitter throughout. But for now, pull up Netflix, whether it be on your computer, I'm going to do it on my television, and go to episode 7 of Haters Back Off. Give me that promo, girl. Man, I'm nervous, guys. Like, if I'm being honest, like, I'm really nervous. I cannot believe season 2 comes out tomorrow night. I'm freaking out. Like, I feel like anxious and scared, and like I just feel like a freaking mess. But anyway, I'm gonna try to find my show, which usually is really hard to find. But I'm gonna look for it. Hold on. Haters Back Off. I found it. So on Friday, all the artwork is gonna change on Netflix. Wait, I don't want to watch episode 1, please. I've seen that in a million Oh wait, that was episode 7. Okay, so I'm gonna go to, let's see. Okay, so episode 7, season 1 is what we're gonna watch together. It's gonna be a glorious time. This is one of my favorite episodes, so I am very excited for you guys to watch this with me. Oh my God, I'm excited. I'm nervous. Like I'm free. Okay, I just have to say for a second before you. So while you guys are hooking up episode 7 on your Netflix, I'm gonna go on a little bit of a rant right now. I'm freaking out. So last year I was freaking out for a totally different reason. Last year, when the show was about to come out, I was in New York City with Rachel and Corey and John. John lived there, one of my best friends. And Corey came with me because Corey is my best friend and my assistant. And I also wanted my sister to come just because like I wanted some family to be there because it was the first time in my life I had my own TV show come out. So I was there doing Jimmy Fallon, and I didn't want to be alone when the show came out. But I had to wake up at like 6 a.m. or something to start doing press. And the show came out at midnight in California. So that was 3 a.m. in New York. So I stayed up till 3 in the morning and like literally was in bed, like half asleep, scrolled through my Twitter and saw everyone be like, it's up, oh my gosh. And I tweeted like, it's up, go watch, and then passed out. And then woke up the next day and started doing press. And then it was just crazy. It was just such a whirlwind. And this year, it's not gonna be like that. This year, I'm gonna be at my house, like just like chilling when the show comes out, like alone. Like I'm freaking out, but it means that I'll be able to like look and see what you guys are saying. I thought about live streaming tomorrow night, like when the show comes out so we can all watch it together, or like live tweeting with you guys as you watch the episodes. But I know I'm being so boring right now, but I'll get to episode 7 in 1 second. Just give me 1 more minute. So season 1, I was like very confident with season 1. Like I was like, yes, this is a good show. This is exactly what I wanted. This is a dream come true. I had a lot of people like helping me throughout the whole process. And season 2, I feel like, which is awesome, but season 2, I feel like people were like, Colleen, you got it. And so I did a lot, it felt like a lot more of the work was put on my shoulders this season, which I was happy about. And it was really cool that people were trusting me with like more of the workload. But I feel like I was so much more invested this season because I had to do a lot of it by myself. Not by myself, like there are other people involved, but like there was just a lot more work put on my shoulders. So I feel, I just feel more nervous, I guess, this time around. I don't know, season 2 is a lot weirder. And season 2, we took more risks with. And I feel like season 2 could either, I just have no idea. Like season 1, I was like, yeah, people are gonna love this and people are gonna hate it, but I know people will love it. And season 2, I was like, I know I love it, but I don't know. Like it's really weird. Like we took it really far. Like we did a lot of stuff in season 2 that like, I feel like we took a lot of risks and like, I don't know, I'm nervous. Like I'm just nervous. I'm freaking out. Okay, so sorry I'm talking so much, but I'm just freaking out. And y'all are my friends, so I feel like I can talk to you about this shit. Oh, sorry, I just said a bad word. Okay, so what are y'all saying? Ella said, was this season more stressful than when you were working on season 1? Yes, times a billion. Like season 2 was when, oh my God, you guys, my cat just went poop and has poop stuck on her butt, so she's dragging her butt all over my floor. The things that go on in this house, I swear to God. Gus, go eat your sister's poop out of her butt, please. That is so gross. Anyway, I'm not even gonna help her because I'm a really good cat mom. No, she's fine. Why was she dragging her butt on the ground? I don't know. Anyway, season 2 was much more stressful. Season 1, I felt like we had our director season 1 that like knew the show so well and like created the look for the show and like those weird close-up shots of me, and it looked very like Napoleon Dynamite, like really bizarre. We had this kick booty director who like came up with that concept. And this season we had different directors who were all awesome, but they weren't like they weren't like creators of the original thing. They're trying to emulate what we had created. So they relied a lot on me to tell them how and what to do. And they could have done it by themselves, but they were just wonderful. That was like a big, important thing for me. So I felt like I was kind of co-directing throughout most of the season, which was really cool and scary and fun. And also, like, my brother wasn't there hardly at all. Like, he came up a couple times, but Jessica had just had their baby. So she gave birth like a couple weeks into production. So my brother wasn't up there. And last season, my brother and I were both on set, and it was so necessary because I'd be acting and he'd be watching the monitors, and he knows my character better than anybody. So he'd be able to come on set and be like, oh, you need to do this more Miranda. That was too Miranda. That wasn't Miranda enough. This would be funny. And he knows all the characters. He helped me write the characters. He helped write the show. So season 1, my brother was there every single day. And this season, he wasn't. He was there, I'd say maybe a total of a week over the 2 months that we were up there shooting. He was still working from home, but he wasn't up there physically every single day. So there was a lot more workload put on me there. I feel like, you know, across the board, the costumes, props, everything was, they, like, I guess, trusted me a lot more this season. Like season 1, I think everyone kind of, I don't know, I just feel like season 2, everyone was like, what do you like about this? What do you want about this? Blah, blah, blah. Colleen, what do you need? What do you want? What do you want? And which I liked, and I wanted it that way, but it was just really stressful. And this isn't me complaining because I wouldn't have it any other way. It was incredible, and I'm the luckiest girl in the world, but it was much more stressful. Anyway, that was a very long-winded answer, but I'm so excited and nervous and all the things. Okay, so let's start because we have 2 episodes to watch right now. So get out your popcorn, get to episode 7. Queue it up on Netflix. We're going to watch episode 7 of Haters Back Off together. For anyone who's new, who just joined, we're watching episode 7 of Haters Back Off on Netflix, and we're going to start the episode together at the same time. So queue it up. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Push play. Oh, mine's loading. I have slow internet, so I'm going to be a little behind you. Okay, so here we go. The Netflix logo popped up. Okay, so this is, I'm about to sing Love Shack, and this is a real video from my YouTube channel. So when we write the episodes, we want every episode to start with a YouTube video. So this one was one, we went through all my old videos, and we found this one called Love Shack, and it's one of my favorites from back in the day. And so we recreated it, and in the video I say I'm dedicating it to a friend, and I think it was dedicated to Jessica or someone, but we made up that it was dedicated to Patrice, which is Patrick. So anyway, we recreated a real video, and that was really important to me in both seasons, that we recreate videos that I've already done in the past. So this is a scene between me and Patrick, Miranda and Patrick. I love this scene. So I'm signing a headshot for Patrick. Remember that headshot when you watch season 2. Not that exact one, just like what my headshot looks like in season 2, because it might pop back up. Okay, so I put to Patrice. The picture on the wall behind Patrick, like right by his arm, the green weird painting, was an exact replica of a painting I had done at one of my ex-boyfriend's house, like when I was like 18 or something. There was one reference photo. We send them like hundreds and hundreds of reference photos to make the set. So the set is based on like my house and my apartments that I have lived in and filmed Miranda videos in. And so they saw that green painting in the background of a picture we sent, and they recreated it. I was like, well, crazy. So he's about to ask Miranda on a date. I think he's so good at this character. So this character, Patrick, I've said this multiple times, it's my favorite character, and I'm very specific with what my characters are when they're in my head. And I was like, I know exactly what I want Patrick to look like, what I want him to sound like, what I want him to act like. And Eric walked in the audition room, and he walked in, I was like, oh my God, that's Patrick. Like, it was immediate. I knew exactly that he was the right person for Patrick. Anything this night. I don't think there's any improv in the scene. Most scenes we have a lot of improv, and the scene between me and Patrick, I don't think I think it was all scripted. Usually when I'm acting with Eric or with Francesca, it's straight up just what the script is. There's every once in a while improv with Eric, but with Francesca, not really. But usually between scenes between me and Uncle Jim or me and my mom, it's like mostly improv. But whenever I acted with Eric, it was like we were stuck pretty much to the script. So now we're into the Netflix original series, Haters Back Off. We changed the logo, so now it's my handwriting. All right, so, oh, here's a good one. Oh, wait, pause. Okay, so I'm at 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Okay, so there's something in TV shows called walla, which is like when the TV's making a sound, or when an audience is clapping and cheering, or an airport, someone's like, please go to gate 38B. That's called walla. And so you get walla actors to come in. Every once in a while, though, like you can't get walla people in time, or the walla people didn't do it exactly right. And in our situation, I thought it would be fun to hide my family and friends' voices throughout the show. And so that commercial that Bethany's watching, where it's like, ooh, meat, sizzling, what a great deal. Like all that is Christopher's voice, my brother's voice. And the reason I did that was putting like my family and friends' voices in the show is that when I do these live streams, I can tell my fans like, oh, hey, guess what? There's a little secret for you, a little nugget. So that was Christopher's voice. So we're in episode 7 of Haters Back Off on Netflix, and we're at 3 minutes and 21 seconds for those of you following along. I'm gonna push play now. So Bethany's in the doctor's office, finding out that her kidney is failing. So she's looking at all her drugs, a lot of pain pills in there. Poor Bethany has a failing kidney. Oh, here's another one. Okay, pause. So at 3:40-ish, my cat is trying to play with the computer. So at around 3:40-ish, there's this shot of Bethany crying in bed, and that's a deleted scene from episode 6. So in episode 6, there was a scene where Bethany's crying in bed and tells Jim, like, my doctor called. He said, I need a new kidney. I'm really scared. And she's crying. But we had to delete the scene. It was heartbreaking to delete the scene. But we kept in the shot of her crying in bed in episode 7. So that was from a deleted scene. And actually, this whole sequence of her, my cat is burying poop. Speaking of, do you have poop on your butt? No, she's clean. So I don't know why she was rubbing her butt on the ground. Why are you rubbing your butt on the ground, you weirdo? I love you. Okay, so anyway, this whole sequence where it's like choppy and weird, and it's like her getting the pills and her like crying in the bed. This was not how it was scripted. It was scripted to just be like voice. I can't really remember how it was scripted. It was voiceover of the doctor, or if it was just the doctor telling. I can't really remember. But we got to the editing room and realized it wasn't really working. We wanted something different. So our editor last year was really awesome, and he came up with this like jittery, like she's on drugs, like her life is kind of flashing and she's just going through the motions and she's high on her drugs and all this stuff. So he came up with this cool editing technique, and he used shots from other scenes and other takes to throw in here. So like the crying in bed, and there's a few, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, at 3:40 right now, and I'm pushing play. So she's getting her drugs. Maybe this was scripted. I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a year. She throws away her facing your kidney transplant in the trash. Oh, she is so good at acting. It is crazy. So she's watching the TV. I love the scene. Oh, here's a sad thing. I love the scene between Jim and Emily. I think Emily does such a good job. King Kong 7. So he's clearly talking to men who do porn, and so Emily realizes it. So, okay, pause at 4:33. So if you are a very intense watcher of Haters Back Off, and you've seen it many a time, you would know, if you've rewatched season 1 again in the last month, that jokes are missing. There are little bits of scenes and jokes that are gone. And there's not a lot. There's, I think, 6 moments total. It's not a lot. but there are some moments that are missing, and this is one of them. So this scene, how it used to go was, Jim says, "Oh, Bush, let me check. Miranda, when was the last time you trimmed your chia pet?" And Miranda says, "It's been a while. It's pretty bushy," or something. Iris said, "It's pretty bushy. It's been a while," or something like that. And we had to cut my line. So the reason is because we wanted the show to be available on the kids app and the adults app, and there are just a few lines that were too inappropriate. And for some reason, like, I don't even understand it. Like, there's just, in some countries, in some places, because the show is available in like 190 different places or something insane, for some reason, certain lines just were too raunchy. And he's allowed to say, "Miranda, when was the last time you trimmed your chia pet?" This guy wants to know for a movie. That was okay. But me saying, "I don't know, it's pretty bushy," like, had to get cut. It was so interesting, like, finding out what had to get cut and what didn't. But that one line had to get cut. So for those of you who watched season 1 prior to 1 month ago, you're the only ones who've ever seen that line. Wow, so interesting. Okay, so I'm at 4 minutes and 33 seconds. I'm pushing play. So here we have the TV of the Mattress Queen. So we went through a bunch of different, like, we thought of a bunch of different we didn't know what we wanted Maureen the Mattress Queen to be. We were like, what type of person should this be? Like, what type of woman do we want to cast? This is my favorite, I think my favorite joke this episode. "Did I ever tell you we went to high school together? Chemistry class," like that part. I think Jim is so funny. Anyway, so I had recently become obsessed with my director for this season. His name was Andrew. He's amazing. And I found him through Netflix. He had just directed a show called The Characters on Netflix. And so I watched a bunch of his episodes, and one of them was on this guy, John Early, who plays the Mattress Queen. And if you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch The Characters, John Early's episode. He plays just a bunch of different characters, and it's like skits. And I thought he was so brilliant and so funny that we just randomly one day were like, should we just cast John Early? Because we really liked him and wanted to work with him. And so we're like, why not? So we just cast him in the role, and we never address it. We don't address if it's like a man or a woman, a man playing a woman, or if it's a drag queen, or if it's we never explained anything. We just were like, who cares? Like, just throw him in the role. So yeah, John Early's a hilarious comedian, and you guys should check him out. Anyway, I just talked through that whole scene. Emily is talking to Bethany about signing her boarding school, art school thing. My cat pooped. It smells horrible in here. Francesca looked so much younger last season. It's crazy. Like, I've watched season 2 so much that, like, my brain thinks of these characters as the season 2 version, because that's what I've been doing for a year, is season 2. So it's crazy to watch season 1 because Emily looks so much different to me in season 2 than in season 1. She looks so much younger in season 1. It's crazy. So Emily wants to go to art school. Bethany's saying no. So here, Bethany is saying, no, you can't go to art school. And she's saying it because she wants her daughter there, because she knows that she's dying and she doesn't want her daughter to leave. But Emily obviously doesn't know that. So Emily just thinks her mom's being a meanie head, which I think happens all the time, by the way, in family relationships. Like, moms will do things to protect their children or to protect themselves, and the kids just think mom's being a jerk. This scene between Jim and Miranda where he's smacking the mattresses, that's all improv. You can see me laughing in that shot. You can see me, like, start to smile because I thought it was so funny that he started, like, banging on the mattresses, because that was all improv. That's my dad! Okay, if you pause, sorry. If you pause at like 7:27, 7:28, that's my dad. So we were shooting this scene and my parents were visiting. And I'm paused right now at 7 minutes, 29 seconds. My parents were visiting and we were doing the mattress store scene, and the director, Andrew, was like, we need extras in the mattress store. There can't just be no one in the mattress store. And our first AD was like, well, we didn't hire any extras today. We can't get them this late of notice because this is the last scene we shot. And on that day, he's like, I can't get extras here right now. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And I was like, can my dad be in it? And they're like, no, you know, like, he's not an extra. We have to get an extra. And I was like, but we don't have time to get extras. So why can't we just throw my dad in here? So That's my dad on that mattress store and on that bed. And my dad still talks about it. So he still talks about how he was Hank. He named his character Hank. And Hank was at the mattress store, and they didn't have costumes for him, obviously, because it was so last minute. They literally threw him in the scene. But he was wearing shoes that had the Nike symbol on them. So they had to put black duct tape over the Nike symbol because we can't show Nike because it's a brand and like we didn't have approval. So it is a year later. He's still a year and a half since we shot this. He still has those shoes and they still have the tape on them. He won't take the tape off. And I think it's the cutest thing. So anyway, my dad still talks about that all the time. And he actually said that he wanted to be here for the live stream of episode 7 because he was the star of the episode. And Hank is the reason this episode is any good. So thank you to my amazing dad. So I'm at 7 minutes and 29 seconds of episode 7 and I'm pushing play now. So Maureen, the mattress queen, is seeing Steve, Jim, and Miranda. My hair was so much longer season 1, y'all. Like, I'm so sad my hair is so short now. So this mattress store is the same place that we shot the magic scene in episode 6, the fish store scene in episode 2. What else did we put? The locker room from episode 2. So anyway, we didn't have a lot of time to shoot this scene, so we basically cross-shot it. So we had like 2 cameras going at the same time, one on me and Jim and one on Maureen, because we just had no time. And this scene we shot at the end of the day, and most of it's improv. And we shot it after I had shot all of my crying scenes. So I had just been sobbing at the computer, like for the final scene of the show where I'm crying alone at the computer screen. I'd been shooting that for hours and hours and hours. And then they're like, all right, now let's go do this funny comedy scene in the mattress shop. And so I ran to the hair and makeup trailer. My hair was dripping wet from the scene, so they had to blow dry it and straighten it. And they had to put tea bags on. My face was swollen and red from sobbing for hours. And then they're like, okay, go be funny. But yeah, this scene was really fun to shoot. And a pillow. I know every episode by heart because the show is my life. I'm trying to think of other like interesting information from the show. And she's not going on my foot, okay? My room smells like poop. So we originally had this whole like backstory between Maureen and Jim that they dated, or that he was in love with her. Like we floated around a lot of different ideas with the Maureen character. Sweetie, nothing you do is incredible. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to think of something interesting to say during the scene. I'm trying so hard not to laugh, you can tell. Miranda, I think I said this in the last live stream, but Miranda in season 2 is much more Miranda. So season 1, it was much more subtle. Like when she was like, get out of my store, I was just kind of like that kind of face. This season, I would have been like my face was so absurd season 2. You'll see when you watch season 2 tomorrow night. All right, so I will tell you this. Pause. I'm at 10 minutes and 13 seconds of episode 7. This shot of Bethany, we shot on the first day of shooting the show. So even though it's in episode 7, we shot every single grocery store scene in one day. So even though it's episode 7, all of this was shot. I just pushed play. I'm at 10:17 right now. The lights are flickering as we zoom in on Bethany. But yeah, all this stuff was shot on the first day. So they had just met. The guy who plays Keith and Angela literally had just met that day. It was the first day of shooting. I hadn't even shot any of my scenes yet. And they shot this scene together and they had to like make out in the back and they literally just met, which was crazy to me. I know that happens all the time with actors. Like actors meet other actors and have to like kiss them for scenes and whatever, but I don't know why it just seems so crazy to me. I guess because in the season, they've had all this history, like Keith and Bethany have dated, and then she broke up with him, and like he had this weird fetish, and there's all this huge storyline between Keith and Bethany. But when we shot this, they hadn't shot any of the other scenes. So this is them first meeting, doing this scene where they have all this history. It's very impressive to me. Good actors, these two. Alrighty, girl. Go make out with your mans. Come on, Bethany. There's some coupons in the back. I don't have much else to say about this grocery store, y'all. This is my pussycat. So there they go, making out in the back. How weird is that? Like, can you imagine meeting someone and like literally having to make out with them immediately? I just feel like, I know she's professional and he's professional and they've probably done it a million times, but I just feel like that's crazy. So Keith is obsessed with her being ill and sick and broken, and she's not wearing her wrist brace. And so he's like, F this, I'm going back to the church. This was all in one shot because we had like 10 minutes to get this scene too. So imagine meeting someone and being like, okay, you're gonna do a kissing scene. We have 10 minutes to get this scene, so don't mess it up. It's all one shot. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like the whole scene is one camera move. There's no cuts. Oh, honey, it's okay. Okay. There's Miranda, pissed, going to get her cheese balls. So Jim and Miranda just entered the house. I'm eating my cheese ball bucket. Man, I hate cheese balls. I hate cheese balls. I ate so many cheese balls this day, and I eat a lot of cheese balls in season 2 as well. Spoiler alert. And I hate them. Like, I would rather eat the froze toes. I would rather eat salami. I would rather eat wieners. Like, I would rather eat anything than cheese balls. I hate cheese balls because they have like a film. I can't explain it. It's really gross. So this kitchen is based on a house I lived in college. We recreated it completely, which is crazy because I did a few videos in that kitchen, and so we recreated it for Haters Back On. Homeschoolers. All right. So here we got the pudding. Okay, so this pudding and these homeschoolers. Okay, this is a good scene. So the pudding, we scripted it as like there's a thick film of like pudding, crusted pudding on the top. And they were like, the food people were like, how important is it to have a thick crust of pudding goo? And we're like, pretty important. Like, we think it'd be funny. Because haven't you guys ever left out pudding or something and there's like a thick, maybe that's just my gross family. But anyway, they're like, it will cost $800 per pudding bowl. And I was like, we don't need the crust. So there's not really any pudding crust on this, which we really were hoping for. These homeschoolers were great. These people who played the homeschoolers, the kids, they were so nice, so cool. Like, just the sweetest people. Like, I loved them. All 3 of them were just so, so, so sweet.
Oh, well, we already have plans.
Plans?
Yeah, over here are some examples of some past parade banners that we made.
I think she's great.
Oh, here's some swatches.
Abigail.
Some spots.
So those actors are all from Canada. We cast them while we were up there.
Abigail, put that on.
It was crazy. Like, whenever we had like little parts like this, I'd be like doing a scene like from episode 3 or something and come out in between filming an episode, and then our showrunners would be like, hey, Colleen, look at these auditions. And I'd watch auditions for like homeschoolers or, you know, random other characters. And then we'd choose through videos. Like, we'd get sent videos of people's auditions. And so we got hers, and we thought she was just awesome. She did such a good job.
Song choice, dance moves, precision, and facial expression.
So yeah, there's a lot of improv in this scene.
Patrick, yes.
So here comes Patrick. He's gonna do the flag waving. He had to go through rehearsals for this, like crazy, like hours and hours of rehearsal to learn that like little routine. And actually Steve had to do it too. So Steve went to lessons too, and he actually learned like a pretty complex routine. And we were like, no. Uncle Jim shouldn't be good at this. And so then he just like marched in a circle holding the stick. We were like, yeah, that's better. So Steve actually went to like hours of rehearsal, and we were like, wait, we don't want him to know how to do this. it should look like Patrick's really good, and then Uncle Jim is like an idiot. There's a lot of stuff in the house that's based on stuff in my childhood. So like the Merry Christmas sign on the wall is the same one my mom has had in her house, like keep it up year round. The Chia Pet heads behind my head in the scene my mom made and had, they're like made out of tights. There's a lot of stuff in the house that's like direct recreation of stuff from my childhood.
Now, any of you other smart athletes want to give it a try? Watch the next one.
So there's a scene that was deleted from this episode. I'm just remembering. There's a scene later in the episode that we took out where it's just Jim and the 3 homeschoolers, and they're practicing together. He's teaching them the routine. They're all sweating, and he punches a hole in the wall, and like just this crazy scene. But we didn't need it, so we took it out. It was a funny scene, but it was just like a silly, funny scene. There's no really story to it.
Oh, I have a stupid flag. I want to ride a horse. I told you that.
You can't ride a horse who gets spooked by flags, and then they pick the little kid, and the little kid with a smashed face, and his mother's mad, and the mother goes wild, and it's a whole deal.
I love this episode.
Oh, what if I ride you on the daddy's side to the parade?
No, I have to ribbon dance.
So Patrick, so this moment between Patrick and Miranda wasn't even supposed to be like a moment. Like it just kind of, sometimes when you're in a scene, like stuff just happens and like organically. So this was supposed to be just like, Patrick, make Miranda float. And he goes, I'll bid you the exact float you're hoping for, Miranda. And then Miranda goes, it better float though. And that was just supposed to be it. And he left. But when we started acting it out, we kind of just like did this like smirky smiley thing at each other. And there's this like cute little moment between Miranda and Patrick, which wasn't scripted. It was supposed to just be like Patrick leaves. So it's cool. Like there's a few moments like that in this show where like when you just start acting out the scene, like stuff just happens. And that was one of them. This was all improv. Can I leave? I'm bored. Like the whole end of the scene is improv. Emily's bedroom. We're in Emily's bedroom now. Sorry, for anyone who's just now joining, I'm at 18 minutes and 30 seconds on episode 7 of Haters Back Off season 1 on Netflix. Emily's room is actually Bethany's room. So we had a very small set season 1. So we had to like repurpose rooms. So Emily's room, we just made sure we finished all of Bethany's scenes. We took out Bethany's room and then put Emily's stuff inside. So Emily does not have a room.
Yes.
Of her own. It's just Bethany's room. So now they're going to go into the garage together and look at her artwork. Bethany's looking at her paintings. I told you guys this before, but Emily's painting nook, her little corner in the garage, is based on a corner of the garage that my brother actually had in my childhood home. My brother made a little corner in a garage. This garage is a literal exact replica of the garage I grew up in. Like my mom's garage looks just like that. And my brother had a little corner that he cleaned out and made his little art corner. So now's the scene between Patrick and Miranda where they're gonna practice the parade float. And the sky, there's just a cool wide shot of the sky, and the sky was beautiful that day. We had to make it gray and ugly because it was like a beautiful blue sky. I love this scene. Miranda's looking for a place to hold on to, so she touches his shoulders like that.
Do you have gas?
That scene was really hard for me to do. Your tummy's growling. Do you have gas? Maybe I'm nervous. Then I won't squeeze too hard. Because I just think that those lines are so funny. And when we wrote that scene, Christopher and I said the lines out loud to each other to like see if it was funny or if we liked it. And it was like so weird. I was like, ew, brother and sister should not be like doing these like love scenes. So you can't tell in this shot, but the sound of that like metal thing around his bike was so loud. Like when we shot it, it was so loud. They fixed it when they got into sound, but it was really, really, really loud. And so that's why we're like yelling in that scene because you couldn't even hear us. So Miranda just entered into the garage.
Just said so. I was really excited to hear about it because it means that
And Miranda wants Emily to paint her float.
So when you think I'm not going, honestly, Miranda, I'm not helping you. What?
So this scene, we just needed Miranda to find out that Emily wanted to go to an art school, so that we could prep that Miranda like sees the art and is like, oh, that's not good. I need to help her to get into the school. So we wanted it to look like, you know, the end of this episode, which I'm about to spoiler alert, but this is all improv, all the curtain stuff. But we wanted it to look like Miranda did it maliciously, but then you find out later she was actually trying to help because she loves her sister and she knows how important the art school stuff is to her. And she, like Miranda genuinely wanted to help her sister get into art school. So Bethany's saying she's going to go to the parade. God, Francesca looks so young. Season 1, it's crazy.
Well, you can go back to Keith. He has a weird fetish for sick people.
So Emily's like, Mom, don't go back to Keith. I don't have anything fun to say about this scene. I think this scene's pretty straightforward. It's pretty just scripted and simple.
No, we can talk later. We should go on your interview. It's too important.
Goodbye, Emily. Go to your interview, child. Oh, I love this set. I hope I get to see it again. I hope I get to season 3. Sorry, I'm like not saying anything. So here she goes. She's gonna take her drugs. Poor Bethany. Man, she's such a good actress. Love that one. All right, so now we're at the parade. It was funny, this parade, we wanted it to look like it was in like a really lame town, a small little town with like lame people. But a lot of Canadians are very attractive. And so when we got there, there's like, they're putting extras that were like hot men, like the front. And I literally was like, get that hot man off my set, because I don't want any hot guys here. Like, I don't, like, I know that's like horrible to say, but I was like, it was distracting because it's like this dinky, lame little parade in this dinky, lame little town. And to have this hot, hunky man stand there, it was like, that's just where your eye goes. And so it was, I found it distracting. So I was like, can we move the really hot guys in the back? All right, so the inside of the parade float, we shot on a different day, obviously. So the inside of the parade float's actually where Patrick's pedaling. Is shot on our set. There's actually video of it. If you look, I think the video is called Patrick's Big Day on my Psycho Soprano channel. It's Patrick. We shot all that inside. So we shot all the outside stuff. Patrick actually wasn't even there the day we shot the parade. Like, so all this parade stuff, Eric wasn't there that day. Let me just I haven't checked Twitter in a while, and I feel like I'm like have a sudden fear that like this isn't even live streaming anymore. Okay. It's so weird. What else? This scene took all day. Like, we were there so long. This was a really hard scene to shoot. This whole parade stuff. So Angela's hair is blonde, and we dyed it brown for the show. And it was fading, and this is near the end of the shoot because we're in episode 7, so it was one of the last things we did. And her brown hair dye was coming out, and her hair was starting to look blondish, reddish. And so they were putting like a black powder in her hair in between takes, like on her scalp and in her hair to make it look darker, which was just such a pain in the butt. So anyway, Keith is sitting on that woman in a wheelchair's lap. Bethany's looking sad because she just bought cotton candy. Poor Bethany. Okay, so Jim is about to perform his little performance for the parade officials. I think Jim is so effing good in this scene. Oh my gosh, I love Steve Little. So yeah, there used to be a scene in this episode where he was teaching them all how to do this dance, and they're all like drenched in sweat, and he's like, "Get your head in the game!" He's like screaming at them, and then like he grabs him with the flags, he's pulling on it, it's stuck on something, and then he finally gets it to go, and it like slams through the wall and punched a big hole in the wall. There's actually, I think, a scene in episode 8 where you can see the hole in the wall. And even this season, when we got there, I was like, why is there a hole still in the wall? We need to patch this up. So Jim's about to do the Liberty Twirl. I love just how lame this parade looks. He throws it into the air. I love the judges' faces. They're so great. I don't know why. I just love I love casting and having like average looking people on my show, because I don't like when you watch TV shows or movies and everyone just looks perfect and like, or perfect, society's version of perfect. I'd rather see like real people who look freaking real and like people, I don't know. So that was very important to me, to cast people and feature people who weren't like hot models. Nothing against hot models, just like I wanted people to look more real and relatable. So this scene between Maureen and Jim where they're like talking was longer, and there is, it was much longer originally. We were fighting the sun the entire time. The sun was setting. We're all freaking out. We're like, we have to get this scene. It was crazy. But they originally had improv all this crazy stuff, and it was really funny, but it was just like a little too cartoony. Like she like, she was into it, I think. Like the way he did Maureen was like trying to kiss back, and like, I feel like maybe they did kiss at one point. I don't remember. They like improv crazy stuff. So this is me. It was supposed to be a stunt double who's getting into the butt of the parade float, but I did that. So we shot this scene on the set. All the little ashes you see floating through the air in the thing were done in post-production. So that smoke that you see, a little bit of smoke was in there, but most of the smoke and the ashes we added later. I love the scene. You're sweating really hard. So are you. Oh, Patrick. And then they're gonna kiss. I was so nervous for the scene. Kissing scenes are awkward, guys. Like, it was so nerve-wracking. Like, I can't even tell you. Like, I feel like anyone who's an actor, I guess, no, because other people I've talked to when I've asked, like, are kissing scenes weird for you? They're like, no, it's like, it's nothing. But for me, like, I don't know why, it's just uncomfortable. I guess just because I haven't kissed many people. So, like, even when I'm acting, it's like, it's just like weird to kiss when kissing someone in front of like a bunch of people, and like, I don't know, it's weird. But I love the way that scene turned out. It's one of my favorite scenes, the parade float scene. Okay, so anyway, now we're in the scene where Emily is showing off her artwork. And we shot this at the hospital. So the hospital that you saw in episode 6 where Patrick and Bethany got stabbed and they go to the hospital. This was in the bottom floor of the hospital. I love this shot, how it like swoops around over her shoulder to reveal that Miranda ruined the art. I actually did that art with the spaghetti. Like, I actually put that on there. The other ones the art department made, but the one with the Miranda face I made. Poor Emily. This part's so sad. Okay, we did one episode, y'all. We did. My cat was on my pillow. I just sat on my cat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Puppy. We did it. We did episode 7. So now it's time for episode 8. I can't believe some of you are still watching. So I'll try to do it faster. I just have so much to say. So I just like talk forever. I'm sorry. So I'm going to watch episode 8 now. For anyone who's just now joining, which I highly doubt, I'm sure all I've gotten was just a bunch of people signing out. But if anyone who is just now joining, we're watching episodes 7 and 8 of Haters Back Off, season 1, to prep and get ready for season 2 coming out. And I'm telling you all the secrets and all the drama from season 1. This is it. Oh my God, this is it. Okay, so I'm doing this. It's like hitting me. So I'm doing episode 8 right now, and then I'm done doing season 1, and then season 2 comes out tomorrow night at midnight. Holy shite. That's crazy. So I'm gonna look at my Twitter really quick and answer a couple questions before we do episode 8. Let's see what y'all saying. Lynn's said, I love Rose Toast, said I just joined because I just got home from dance. That's awesome. Episode 8 time, it took a year. So the hashtag is, it took a year. Lacey said, will the parade float make an appearance in season 2? You know what? I'm going to give you guys spoilers because the show comes out tomorrow night, and if anyone is still watching, you are a super fan, and I love you, and thank you for still watching. So if you made it this far, now you get spoilers. And I will say the parade float does make an appearance in season 2. So you heard it here first. You're a super fan. You are hearing it before anybody else. So let me tweet out the link one more time for episode 8. Come watch the episode full of drama with me, live and in person. Okay. Hashtag, what is it? It took a year. It took a year. Oops. Hashtag. Girl. I don't have time. Wait, no, I did that. Okay, sorry, wrong. Okay, so I just tweeted that out. Okay, I'm gonna read a couple tweets while we're waiting for people to join in. Kylie said, do you have any favorite episodes in season 2? I love episode 4. And I love episode 5. And but I think episode 4 might be my favorite. But episode 5 is really great too. They're all good, but it's like I can't say much, but yeah, episode 4 I really, really like. So let's see. Fearless Fridays, Dave Gahn said, already watching, had a long day, needed a laugh. Oh, thanks. I hope you're able to laugh. Gus is like purring at the kitten because he loves her. Okay, let's see. At Racheline XOX said, are season 2 Froze Toast different than season 1 flavor? No, it was the exact same flavor, and we tried to make it a little bit different because I got so sick season 1 eating them because they're full of sugar and they're not good for you, and they don't taste great. But we couldn't change it because it changed the color if we changed the recipe, and I wanted the color to be exactly the same, so we didn't change it. Okay. Full of drama. Yeah, this episode is full of drama. Oh, Alex said, as an art major, that part made me cry so hard. Yeah, I know that it was really devastating. I love that though. I like when shows like turn on you suddenly and you're watching a comedy and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, why am I upset? Why am I like crying? I don't know why I like that, but I do. Obviously, it's all over my show. Okay, so we're about to watch episode 8, but I'm going to answer one more question. Let's see, I'm waiting for a question. I'm not really seeing any questions. Okay, Maria said, tell us another premiere insider tip from HBO 2. I'm trying to think. Okay, another insider information. Oh my gosh, Gus and the cat are fighting. Get ready, you're gonna hear. Hey, Gus! Gus! He like gets mad because she won't let him clean her. Hey! Gus, stop it. He gets mad because he wants to clean her and then she wants to get away, so he like bites her to pin her down to clean her. He loves her. He's obsessed with her. But then she's like, and whines. Okay, another insider little secret from episode 2. Gus was supposed to be in season 2. He got cut. So that's an insider secret. Another insider secret. Let's see. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a good insider secret. How about this? Miranda and her relationship's gone a crazy roller coaster ride in season 2. But Miranda is not the only main character that has relationship drama in season 2. I guess that's not a very good spoiler. I'm sure you could have assumed that, but like one of my favorite storylines about a relationship is not between Miranda and someone else. It's between another character. I can't even tell you a spoiler. Like, I suck at spoilers. I'm sorry. Okay, let's just watch the episode. So we're gonna start episode 8 right now together. Okay, so here we go. So Miranda's making a video. So this is not a real video. This doesn't exist online. We wanted it to be a video that Miranda didn't post. Like, so Miranda's making a video and she's like, this sucks. I don't want to do this video. So she's or Jim says he doesn't like it. So it's Miranda's doing socks and sandals. So Jim really wants Miranda to upload the free voice lesson video. So in this room, Jim really wants to post a free voice lesson video. Miranda's not interested. But in this scene, you can see like the porcelain dolls. I think I might have said this before, but I used to collect porcelain dolls. So that was something I requested to be in Miranda's room. The jacket behind me in this scene is the Hey Where My Bay's At pink jacket that I wear all the time. So I hid things that like you guys might recognize or know from my videos all over the house. So that's one of them. You see the Where My Bay's At jacket. I wear it all the time. I've worn it in a lot of videos. I wore it on a VMA, or not the VMA red carpet. I wore it on some red carpet, that pink jacket. What else? I'm trying to look at stuff in the room. I love that Miranda's closet door has no door, or that Miranda's closet has no doors. Emily, I love this scene between Emily and Miranda, where Emily is packing to leave. Miranda's super cocky. So in my head, Miranda genuinely was trying to help Emily. Poor Emily. She's great in this scene. This scene is so sad. I'm trying to think of anything to tell you. Look how much I look like Colleen in this. Like, I look like me. I don't even look like Miranda. That was something I noticed when I watched season 1. I was like, wait, Miranda looks like me a lot of the time. So season 2, I tried really hard to make sure I didn't look like me.
Are you sorry? Really? Are you just so dumb that you thought you were helping?
Woo, Emily, rude. So my goal was to like, or our goal, I guess, as writers was to like make you kind of hate Miranda and then turn around and feel sorry for her. So it was really hard to do. And in some cases we didn't do it. Like there are some people who are like, I hate her. Like I don't like her. I think she deserves it. But that's one scene where I do feel sorry for the character. Like in my heart, like I've had a lot of experience in my past with, well, I won't get into that, but I feel like I feel really sorry for Miranda in that scene. I'll just say that. Like, I think it's really sad that she's just dumb, and she was trying to help, and she didn't mean to mess up, and she didn't mean to ruin Emily's life, and she did, and Emily called her dumb. And when she was trying to do something sweet for her sister called her stupid and said she ruined her life. And I just think that that's what starts Miranda's spiral into destroying her own life, was her sister. Like, the whole show, I'm going to pause it because I'm going to talk about this for a second. I'm at 4 minutes and 5 seconds, so pause it there. But I like that the whole season, the whole show starts off with Emily and Miranda. Like, there's a conflict between Emily and Miranda. Emily wrote in the first episode a mean comment on Miranda's videos and said, "Don't ever tell anyone I'm your sister." And Miranda promises in a sweet moment, it's like, "I won't ever let anyone know you're my sister. I love you, and like, I'm protecting you." It's essentially what was going on in my head. And so the whole season, Miranda and Emily aren't best friends, but they love each other. They're sisters. And like, Rachel and I are best friends. Like, Rachel is my best friend. She's my sister. But growing up, we didn't get along. I was not a nice big sister to her. I didn't like her, really. I was mean to her. I bullied her. But I loved her, and I protected her, and I would do anything for her. And I kind of feel like that's how Miranda and Emily are. Like, they're sisters, and they love each other, and they'll protect each other, but they don't get along. And so in my head, Miranda, even though she didn't like Emily, she was doing everything she could to protect her sister the whole season. And at the end, she saw, oh, my sister wants to get into this art school. I see that she's always painting. She loves art. This is her dream. But her paintings aren't good enough. And if she wants to get in the school, I can help her do that because I'm talented at everything. So I'm going to help her art. And then, so Miranda genuinely was like, my sister's going to be so excited that I got her into art school. I made her dreams come true. That's how Miranda thought. And then to have her sister be like, you're stupid, and I hate you, and you ruined everything, and I never want to see you again, was devastating for my character. And so then after that, Miranda just kind of goes into a spiral and just starts going bananas, you know? So like, that's the first thing that happens. And then she sees Owen and, you know, kind of starts to destroy the relationship with Patrick. And then she fires her uncle, and then she's just pissed and just bratty. And then she just destroys her life. And in my head, that's what starts the spiral for her. So anyway, starting into the psychological weirdness of the show. But, so we're at 4 minutes and 6 seconds, and I'm pushing play now. So now we're outside with Patrick and Miranda in the front yard, and he gave her a froze rose. And she doesn't understand why he gave her a froze rose. Look how dead the lawn is. Ugh, I hate those rose-toes. So Miranda's finally agreed to go on a date with Patrick, and she's playing hard to get with him right now. I think Miranda at this point really does like Patrick, but she doesn't want him to know. She's very, very guarded. Again, in my head, Miranda has been like hurt by men in her past, and so she like doesn't trust men, so she puts on this like guard, like she doesn't care about anything or anyone. But really, I don't think she's aware of this, by the way. I think this is just what I explained in my own normal human brain. So Owen just arrived, and he's flowing his locks about. Owen is based on just like a bunch of guys that I knew in school and at church and stuff. It's like kind of nice, kind of dumb guy who thinks he's God's gift to the planet. We all know those guys. So he calls Miranda Amanda, and it's yesterday actually I was out and I was shopping, or 2 days ago I was shopping for my dresses, and the woman who checked me out was like, "You're Amanda, right?" And I was like, "Yes." It made me laugh because Owen calls Miranda. So Patrick's got to pop that bubble for Miranda. The guy who played Owen was really sweet. He was a lot like Owen, but like way nicer. He's just like a really, really sweet, cool guy. He's done a lot of work with like Disney, I think. I feel like he was just in like some Disney movie. His shirt says Gaynard Community College. Gaynard was the last name of our director, Andrew Gaynard. So Miranda is just obsessed with becoming famous. She's very passionate about her goal to become famous. So even though she does like and care about Patrick, she wants Owen because he's like what she thinks she should be with in her famous world. I'll get into that, I guess, later when we get more into that stuff. So Miranda's walking into the house just past the banana, and Jim is filming secretly, trying to get a viral video. I love this scene. Eric Stockland's hair grows really fast. So I feel like it happened this season too, you'll see, but if you compare like the first episode with the last episode, his hair is like an inch longer. I just noticed how long his hair looked right there. This scene was a lot of improv. Miranda finally agreed to go on a date with me. I think this scene is so good. I love that Jim is like, I love that. Is there any activity she might enjoy? Daddy saddle, like immediately. I will say, spoiler alert, I don't think we talk about the daddy saddle at all in season 2. Not that I can remember. Oh, no, we don't talk about it. Like it's in, but I don't think we bring it up. Like I can't remember a moment, but maybe I'm wrong. When he says, if I got her a dinosaur bounce house, but that's in the wrong message. And Steve goes, yes. He improv that, and it's so funny. So Miranda's pissed because Owen got into the Theophos Theater, and Jim told her the Theophos Theater was impossible to get into.
Excuse me? I am famous. I already did all your five faces of fame, plus a more.
She's such a brat. Miranda's such a brat in this scene. There's a lot of people in Hollywood who are like, I've been doing this for so long. How come I'm not famous by now? Which is like, here comes the banana slip heel. That is obviously not me. That was my body double who was amazing, my stunt double. She was so incredible. And I had the same stunt double this season. But anyway, I love that moment with Miranda because it's not uncommon. Like a lot of people in Hollywood are like, I've been working really hard. How come I'm not famous yet? And if you have that attitude, it's not going to happen. Like you have to just keep working hard and be grateful for the opportunities that come your way. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. For anyone who's just joining, we're watching episode 8 of season 1 of Haters Back Off right now. And I'm telling you about all the secrets. So Bethany's finally decided to come and tell Emily that she has a kidney disease and that her kidney's failing. But Bethany has spent her whole life faking illnesses and faking fibromyalgia and faking carpal tunnel and faking anything she can to get attention, that now that she has a real disease, people don't even believe her. Like Emily doesn't think she's being serious. So Emily just said, I'm moving in with my dad. We haven't talked about Miranda's dad the whole season. This is the first time that we're hearing. And all you know from Bethany right now is she says he's not a good man. That's all we know about Miranda's dad. Is Bethany said he's not a good man, and Emily's moving in with him. You might want to remember that. There's macaroni all over Emily's backpack. She is moving out. So Bethany's about to take her drugs. Life is getting stressful. She's starting to take more than she should. Oh, Bethany. She's not taking more than she should. She's just taking her meds. Looked like she took a vitamin, to be honest. She said those vitamins were nasty, so she hid them under her tongue, and she didn't actually swallow them. Okay, so here we are at the Thea Foss Theater. This girl was great, the woman that played the like ticket booth lady. We shot this scene where Miranda comes in and is like, hey, I need to perform here at the Thea Foss. We filmed the scene at like 2 in the morning in 5 minutes. That's why I think it looks kind of not great. Like I think this scene is one of the ones that like doesn't look the best. We literally shot it in 5 minutes. It was insane.
I think you're more talented.
This day was really hard for me. This day was the day we shot all the theater scenes at this theater. So this is the end of the day, but this day was really hard for me because I found out this day, this is probably TMI and not interesting at all, but I found out that day that I had to stay in Canada for post-production, and I love Canada and I love Vancouver, but I was under the impression that I got to do post-production and editing and all that stuff in Canada, but I'd be mostly in LA. So like I'd fly up for like a couple days and then I'd be in LA for most of the time and go up for a couple days and then, but I'd mostly be just move back to LA. But this day they gave me the schedule and I looked at it and I looked at them and I was like, wait, this has me working every single day for 3 months in Canada. And they're like, mm-hmm. And I was like, you told me that I could be living in Los Angeles. They're like, well, you can, but we're going to be working here every day. So I was like, oh my God. And I remember this day was like, I'm telling you the backstage scoop, but I was like really sad this day because I thought I was going to go home in a couple of days and move back to Los Angeles and see all my family and friends again. And I had just found out that I like actually needed to stay in Canada for 3 more months. And I was so homesick. But I love Canada. I love Vancouver. I love living there. My mind wasn't prepared that I was going to live there for 3 months. So whenever I watch scenes from this, that's what my mind goes to, is like finding out that I wasn't going to see, family and friends as often as I thought I was going to. So here we're back. Patrick is getting ready for the big date. Hello and welcome to our date. The popsicle stick mountain on the wall. I love that popsicle stick mountain. Oh, Patrick. So here we go. Bethany is folding laundry, and her kidneys are hurting her. So the claws on the lamps in the scene, like, they took from reference from my mom's room. That's what she does with her hair claws. She like sticks into lamps. And then the thing on the wall, the like weird mouth thing, is something that I made when I was like 9 or 10, and it's in my mom's room, and they recreated it and put it in there. So anyway, Bethany is in pain and hurting. Sorry, I don't have anything interesting to say. Anyone new who's joining this live stream right now, sorry, this is so boring. This is for like hardcore Haters Back Off fans, so you're gonna be bored, but I'm just talking about Haters Back Off and behind the scenes information on the episodes, and we're watching episode 8 right now. Bethany took more drugs for her kidney that is failing. And Jim is making the puzzle on the ground. Uncle Jim had the right idea. For once, that idiot had a good idea, which was to post the free voice lesson video, which was my very first viral video. Where my base at? So we just had him listing all of my some of my top viewed videos. The cinnamon challenge, Slurpees. So Miranda's getting cocky. I think this is one of my worst scenes as far as acting goes. I'm not happy with my performance in it. I just feel like I'm like, all I had to do was go to that theater, and he loves me. You're just jealous because I'm in love. Like, I just feel like I don't do a good job acting in this scene. So Emily just came in, and Emily tries one last time to do something nice for her. So she's like, you might have been misunderstanding. Emily's trying to protect her, and Miranda's really hurt from earlier in the day when Emily was rude to her. So Miranda's like snatched to her sister. But to me, everyone's like, Miranda's so mean to Emily in this scene. And I'm like, yeah, but Emily was so mean earlier in this episode to Miranda, so she's pissed at her sister. I'm just looking at your tweets as I'm talking about. So Emily's leaving the room. Goodbye, Emily. Get out of here. What a nerd. Nerd alert. Okay. I don't look in character at all right there. Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you guys to see season 2 because Miranda's like a different person. I feel like Miranda in season 2 is the Miranda you see on YouTube. Like she's really like, I mean, so distorted and like just like really over the top. In season 1, it was much more subtle. I don't think one is better than the other. They're just different. So here we are at the theater, and Owen is warming up his guitar. Miranda's coming down. So then April comes in.
Hey, April, what's up?
She was so sweet. Like one of the sweetest girls I think I've ever met in my life, that girl.
What are you talking about? I just wanted to say, thank you.
So Miranda is literally the dumbest person in the world. This scene, this whole ending with like Owen was so hard to write because it was hard to get it to a point where it didn't feel like corny, like he was being really malicious. And to us, Owen was just like a dumb guy who like genuinely was like, this girl's funny, I'm gonna put her on stage. But it was hard to make it not sound super malicious. But anyway, this scene, there's so many elements to this episode that were so hard for us to come up with. Like, how would Miranda think that the proposal's for her? Like, Miranda's really dumb to think that the proposal's for her. Like, it's a little unbelievable, but like Miranda's so dumb, we get away with it. But Miranda thinks the proposal's for her, and Owen is being a meanie. So Miranda thinks her life is going well because her life started spiraling out of control, so she took everything into her own hands. Oh my gosh, this green screen is so rough. So now we're on the lake with Patrick. He's waiting for Miranda, and obviously we shot this in front of a green screen, and it looks so crazy. Like the green screen is so insane.
That's okay.
It's so weird. Miranda's canceling on Patrick. So my side of the phone conversation, we shot these obviously like a week apart. And so on my side, I was reading it with our AD. Our AD was reading the lines. So he's just like reading them, and I'm like trying to act. This is really awkward. For Patrick, I was sitting in a chair like 20 feet from him saying my lines so he could actually act with me. But we shot his scene at like 3:30 in the morning, I think. And mine was maybe, I don't remember when mine was. Miranda, such an idiot. Miranda here, I think Miranda does like Patrick a lot. She just said it. Look, I like you, Patrick. She really wants, her number one love is her career. Like Miranda wants to be famous. She's passionate about it. She thinks she's destined to be famous. So she'd do anything for that. But on top of that, she's taking advantage of the fact that she knows Patrick will always be there for her. So she knows Patrick will be her friend and be in her life no matter what. So she's like, well, I can put me and Patrick's relationship on the back burner while I'm furthering my career. And then eventually maybe Patrick and I can be together. But right now I need to focus on being with Owen because he's more famous. I don't think she was expecting Patrick to say like, no, I'm not going to be your friend. I want nothing to do with you. I don't think Patrick was expecting that either. I feel like you can see in Patrick's face, he's surprised with himself that he finally said goodbye to Miranda. That green screen is just rough. All right, so Miranda's looking at the engagement ring, putting it on. I love that shot because I just see the desperation in this dumb girl. Like she knows she just ruined her life. I don't know why I love that shot. When I put the ring on my finger, I'm like, Miranda, you done effed up. Like, and you can see it in her face. I feel like when you're looking at Miranda, you're like, oh, she knows she's screwing up. So Owen's about to sing a song for his dog. So I think Miranda, with the Owen situation, I guess I kind of just explained it, but I think that her number one passion is her career. And so she loves her career more than anything else in the world. So she will do anything to further her career. And so that's why she's so willing to drop Patrick I don't think she's willing to drop Patrick. I think she just thinks Patrick will be there for her regardless of what the situation. So anyway, Jim just walked in. So Jim is about to tell her that he's uploaded her free voice listen video. I love the scene. I think Steve did such a good job in the scene. He looks so hurt when Miranda fires him.
You're fired.
More like on fire.
I said you're fired. You told me that you needed things to say.
So I think, poor Miranda. Corey said something really interesting once when we were editing this episode. He was like, I feel like all of the characters got what they deserved. A lot of people watch this show and watch episode 8 and say Miranda got what she deserved. She brought it on herself, which she did. But he was like, they're all to blame. You know, Jim's cockiness and, you know, being obsessed with making her famous and how cocky he is about everything and not getting a job to help the family and just being so consumed with himself and how amazing he is as a manager bit him in the butt. He got fired. Patrick doting on a girl who walks all over him and constantly is hurting him and choosing other things over him, bit him in the butt. He got his heart broken. Bethany faking illnesses her whole life to get attention, faking fibromyalgia, faking carpal tunnel, faking these illnesses that are real illnesses that people have, bit her in the butt because she got a real illness and now no one cares and no one believes her. And Emily, what was the Emily one? Oh, Emily was, what did he say about Emily? Oh, Emily wanted so desperately to hide her family, and she was ashamed of her family, which is wrong to be ashamed of the people that are closest to you in your life. And so Emily was ashamed to work so hard to hide her family from everyone. And then it blew up in her face and everyone found out who her real family was. And then when her family was trying to help her, she lashed out at them and like her life fell apart. So kind of every single one of these characters has to learn a lesson in the show. And I think that's why I was passionate about the show and I liked the way we wrote the show so much, is like that you get to see characters, as crazy as they are, have to deal with the things that they do wrong in their life. It's not like, oops, I made a mistake, and then at the end of the episode, like everything's all better. It's real life. Sometimes you have to live with the consequences of the horrible mistakes you make in your life, and you have to learn from them and become a better person because of your mistakes. And so, yes, it does look like Miranda is the only one who made the biggest mistakes, and she's the one who has to pay the consequences, but really every single one of these characters goes through something and has to learn from their mistakes in their past. Anyway, blah, blah. But Corey said that when we were editing this episode, and I was like, whoa. There was talks of us when I'm doing, when we did this scene, there was talks of me doing it well, like singing it on key, like doing it well so that you're kind of in Miranda's head. So the director really wanted that. The director was like, can we please do a take where you sing it really, really well and you sing beautifully so that we're kind of hearing what Miranda hears in her head. And I was kind of okay with that, but Christopher was like, I don't think we should do that. That doesn't make any sense because Miranda does think she sounds good. She does. So I kind of did it like a little bit on pitch in the beginning and then like messed it up later, but this scene is sad. So Miranda is about to get her little heart broken. For anyone who's just joining, I'm watching episode 8 of Haters Back Off and telling you behind the scenes information. So he's about to propose to April, and Miranda has literally just given up everything in her life to be with Owen. She fired her uncle. She broke up with Patrick. She yelled at her sister and was like, F you, I don't need you anymore. Get out of my life. I'm going to be with Owen. She has exploded her life. The only person she has left is her mom. She's exploded her life because she thinks she's going to be with Owen and she's going to be famous, and now that's exploding in her face. Literally the worst case scenario for this crazy girl.
Thank you.
I haven't watched this in so long. I'm trying to think of anything to say about the scene. The audience is laughing at Miranda.
Why are you laughing? Why is it funny that someone would love me?
I love that line, why is it funny that someone would love me? I remember when one of our writers said that line in the writer's room, and I was like, oh my God, that line is so good. Originally, when I turned my head right there, I go, why is it funny that someone would love me? Originally, I would turn my head to Owen and I said, I love you, like creepy. Oh, we took that out. So this whole scene, we took the audio out. That's not how it was supposed to be. When we were editing the scene, we couldn't get it to be right. Like, we were just like, what's wrong with the scene? There was like screaming going on and it was crazy. And then we couldn't figure out what song we wanted. So we turned off the audio of us all talking and screaming and me crying and just had the music playing. And I was like, this is brilliant. And so I loved that scene with no audio of the dialogue. This is the last scene we shot when they throw me out and I'm crying in the rain. This is the very last scene we shot of the whole season. And I was bawling. I was so sad. It was like 3:30 or 4 in the morning. The rain was freezing cold. So we knew before we wrote the show, we knew we wanted it to start with Miranda making a video and having no fame, but she had her family. And we knew we wanted the season to end with Miranda finally finding fame, which is her viral video. But she pushed everyone away to show, like, to kind of bring up the question to people, like, what is more important? Like, look at what is important in your life and what are you doing and who are you stepping all over to get what you want? It's like a really important lesson to learn, and poor little Miranda had to learn it the hard way. She just screwed herself over. The scene of Emily at the bus stop was shot at the hospital. Oh my God, this part makes me cry. When she calls Patrick, oh, that cello line, it's so pretty. He did this in one take, the ripping of the popsicle sticks. Poor guy. He got splinters all inside his fingernails from that. Like, he was like bleeding. You did it to yourself, Miranda. But I actually do feel really bad for Miranda. Like, everyone has a different feeling. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Like, tweet me. But did you feel sorry for Miranda? Did you think she deserved it? What do you think at the end of this season? Oh, my cat just fell while she was sleeping. I feel sorry for Miranda. I love this scene. I'm probably going to be quiet while I watch this scene between Bethany and, hold on, I'm going to pause it so we can all watch it together, okay? So if you're just not joining, or if you have been watching with me, but it might be at different time codes, I'm at 30 minutes and 29 seconds. This episode is long, 35 minutes. That's a really long episode. They are not that long, season 2, spoiler alert. So I'm at 30 minutes and 29 seconds, and this is a scene between me and Angela where I come home and Miranda's life has fallen apart. Like, she's destroyed her life. The only person left in her life is her mom, and she's taking it out on her mom. You know when you're just in a bad mood and you take stuff out on the people who are closest to you, whether it's your mom or your boyfriend or your dad or whoever. So that's what's happening right now. So Miranda's just like, Mom, why weren't you there? This is all your fault. Like, which is completely irrational and insane. But Bethany finally explodes at her, and I love this scene. And when I read this scene the first time, Christopher wrote this scene, and the first draft of it, and when I read it, I cried. Like, I remember I was sitting on my couch reading it, and there was like people everywhere, and there were just tears falling down my face. I loved the end of this scene when she leaves, and we both say, oh, I say fine, she says fine, and then I whisper like fine. Like, that's in the script. And when I read it in the script, I cried. I was like, this is so sad. And Christopher, my brother, is just a brilliant writer. Like, all of our writers are amazing, but like Christopher is exceptional. And he's really good at writing comedy, but also really pulling at your heartstrings using subtlety. And I think he did such a good job with this. The fact that this scene is like, Miranda, I'm dying, and there's all these sad things being said. But when I read the script, the word fine is what made me cry. Just the thought of this girl destroying her own life, and she just found out her mom is dying, and she's alone in the house dripping wet, and all she can say is fine. Like, I don't know why that made me cry, but I think it's great. So anyway, episode 8, season 1, here's back off. I'm at 30 minutes and 29 seconds, and I'm going to push play in 1, 2, 3. So now we can watch together.
Little mother, offered to come to her own daughter's performance.
I just look like me in the scene. I don't even look like Miranda.
And said to her, I asked you for one thing, Mom.
Oh, the scene was so hard to do.
To be there.
They took, before each take, I'd stand outside and they would spray me drenched with water. And I was like shivering, shaking, freezing cold. It was miserable.
No. That's it. You have nothing else to say? Nothing, Mom? Nothing else you want to say to me? Mom, I want to know why I wasn't there, Miranda. Where are you going? Jeez, or why I miss your tiny little show. They make me drowsy and they make me forget things, but I have to take them because if I don't, my kidneys could fail before I find a donor. Die, Miranda. Oh, is there a sound?
Poor Miranda. It's really hard to do a scene with someone like Angela and I got really close season 1. Like, we were very good friends, and she was helping me through so many I mean, she was like my mentor, the sweetest, most amazing woman for me season 1. Like, really was just a caring, lovely, wonderful friend. And so to have someone you care about so much, who loves you and you love them, look you in the eye and scream, all you care about is yourself, and throw pills in your face and say, I'm dying. Like, you don't, like, people are like, how do you cry when you're acting? Like, well, that's how, like, I love this line. I love the line fine. I love that line. I'm not, and this isn't me being like, oh, I'm such a good actress. I'm giving it to Chris. Like, Christopher is such a good writer. I love that. It's so sad. So yeah, this scene where I'm at the computer is the scene we shot right before the Maureen the Mattress Queen scene in episode 7. My parents were here this day that I shot this scene. Oh man, I was a mess. I was a sobby mess. So you guys want to know a secret? This show was not supposed to end with the bicycle doll. So I'll get to that in a minute. But Brenda's video is finally viral.
But it worked.
Everyone's gone. I hope y'all are watching because I'm really excited to talk about season 2 after this. Views are going up. And Miranda is sad. I love the music. Season 1 is so pretty. I love that all the videos, related videos, are about dogs. In season 2, I tried harder to like put fun things in those other thumbnails, so you'll see those. Ooh, girl, we milked this scene so long. All right, that's the end. So let's talk the tea. So I am shocked that any of you are still here. But if you are still here, hey, what up, girl? I'm nervous to even look at the numbers because I feel like it'll say 0 viewers because I doubt anyone's still watching. If you are a super hardcore Haters Back Off fan, and I love you and thank you. But yes, so basically, this show was not supposed to end with the bicycle bell. I don't know if I've already told you guys this. Maybe I already have, but I'm about to, hold on. There's the bell. Okay, I'm just checking your thing's still here. Okay, so when we wrote the script, originally the idea was Miranda's alone in her room, a high and wide shot like it was, and she's all you can hear is the click of the mousing click. Like, so before we'd written anything, before we'd even written some of the characters, before we'd written literally any storyline at all we knew was the show starts with Miranda uploading a video, the show ends with Miranda getting a viral video, but she's all alone and all you hear is the clicking of the mouse. And it's sad. And that's all I knew that I wanted. And that was very important to me. So we got that shot. When we wrote the script, I read it and I was like, if we don't get a season 2, everyone's gonna think Miranda's gonna like kill herself after this episode. Like, it's so sad. Like, we can't end it like this. We can't end it with just nothing, like just sad and she's alone. Like, I can't do that. So I wanted something hopeful at the end. So we threw around a few different ideas. We threw around like Miranda leaving and running somewhere in the rain and you don't know where she's going. We threw around a bunch of different ideas, but then finally we came up with the idea of a bicycle bell ringing at the end, and then it cuts to black. And I loved that idea, but everyone was like, no, like, go with your gut. And your instinct was to have the show end just sad and just no bicycle bell, nothing. And I was like, if we don't get a season 2, that's so sad. At least if we don't get a season 2 and there's a bicycle bell, people can assume whatever they're going to assume, you know, that the bicycle bell is, whether they think it's Patrick or something else or a dream or whatever they want to think it is. At least there's some hope at the end of the episode. So we had 2 endings. We had, because I was, no joke, like I was the only one who wanted the bicycle bell. Like, everyone was like, I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it. I think it's better to just leave it sad. It's more powerful. Like, that's what everyone said. It was more powerful. So then we're shooting the scene and I'm doing the scene and I'm sad and we're doing it and there's no bicycle bell because it's not in the script. In the final script, it wasn't in. There's no bicycle bell. Because we'd all decided, like, okay, no bicycle bell. That's what we finally decided. And so then we're shooting the scene. We've been shooting it for like 2 hours and we're about to move on. And I run out of my room and I run into Video Village where like the director is and my parents and whatever. And I was like, hey, can I please do one with the bicycle bell ending? And Andrew, the director, was like, if you want to, I don't think we'll use it. And I was like, just let me try it, please. And he was like, okay. So I run back inside. I like get myself worked up, do the scene cry, and then like the AD is all ring, ring, like that. And I just look up, and then that's the shot that we ended up using. And my director was like, I love that, let's do it again. So then we did it a couple more times that way. But the first time I did it is the one that's in the episode. And the director was like, we have both, so we'll just see. And I didn't even know at the time which one we would use. I was like, okay, at least I know we have it. And then when we were editing it, we put it in. And once we saw it, everyone was like, oh yeah, duh, we have to put the bicycle bell in. But how crazy would it be if we hadn't have shot it. Like, I cannot imagine. I mean, I guess we could have cut to black and then had the bicycle bell, but I like seeing Miranda look up. But anyway, you guys tomorrow night at midnight are going to find out what that bicycle bell is and what happens. So that blows my mind. I cannot believe that. All right, let's see what you guys are saying, and I'll hang out for just a second more, and then I'm gonna go. Yeah, SD Longstocking said the bicycle bell is the best part. It leaves us with a hopeful question mark. Yeah, I agree. I really like it. Jess, because said, does season 2 start with the bicycle bell? We will see. Let's find out tomorrow at midnight. I will say that season 2, if I showed you the script of the first episode of season 2, it is not the same beginning as what we ended up using. So there are 2 full scenes that are not there, that were in the script, that we shot, that we edited, that were big scenes that are no longer there for the start of season 2, which is crazy. And I can't wait to tell you guys about it. In like 2 days, I'll be able to tell you. Okay. Jules said, will you continue this scene in season 2? I guess we'll find out in a very short amount of time. Ella Donovan said, when does season 2 of Haters Back Off come out in the UK? It comes out everywhere the same exact time. So I think, I don't know what the time difference is right currently, but I think it's 8 hours ahead in the UK from me. So that would be 8 a.m. for you on Friday morning. But just check. If you search, Google search like, what time is it in the UK when it's midnight Pacific Standard Time? It'll tell you what time. Spooky Kate said, I've been watching the live stream since it started. Oh my God, you're a trooper. Thank you. Okay, so I've seen this question a lot. Carly said, in the first episode where she didn't know what her show name would be, her YouTube channel name was Miranda Sings 08. Okay, so this question I get asked a lot, and to me it was so obvious, but I guess like I'm an idiot because I get this question all the time, so it wasn't obvious and I'm stupid. So Miranda Sings, in the first episode, you see her YouTube channel is called Miranda Sings 08. And then in episode 4, she's trying to figure out what her last name should be, what her stage name should be, and then she thinks of Miranda Sings. Miranda Sings 08 was not supposed to be Miranda's first and last name. So it's different. The reason there's confusion is because YouTube used to be a lot different than it is now. Back in the day when I started doing Miranda, you didn't put your first and last name, which is why my channels are called Miranda Sings 08, which is the original name of my channel. It wasn't Miranda Sings. It was Miranda Sings 08 and Psycho Soprano. And they weren't called Miranda and then Miranda's last name and Colleen Ballinger. You made up weird names for your YouTube channel. So a lot of people would put like Andy Games or Sophia Dances 09 or like you would put your first name and then what you liked to do. And so Sings was not Miranda's last name. It was what she liked to do. And in 2008, 2007, like that's what you did. You'd be like, Miranda skates, Miranda crafts, Miranda, like you'd put your name and then your activity that you enjoy doing. And so to me, when I made the channel, it was Miranda Sings because she's a singer, and then 08 because that was the following year. And I was like, oh, maybe that's like the year she graduated, or I don't know. I didn't put much thought into it. But it was about to be 2008 when I made Miranda. So I just put 08. But it wasn't supposed to be her last name. And in my head, that was so obvious, but why would I think that's obvious to anyone but me? Only I know that. So then when she's coming up with the name of what her last name should be, she wasn't thinking of her YouTube channel name. It would be the same as if like, she'd be like, if her YouTube channel name was Miranda, let's say she was a crafting channel, Miranda Crafts or Miranda Beauty 08. Why it wouldn't be natural for her to be like, oh, obviously my last name should be Beauty. But the reason it doesn't read that way to you guys is because you've only known Miranda as Miranda Sings. You've never known Miranda as Miranda and her actual last name. You've only known her as Miranda Sings. And when you see the Miranda Sings channel, you don't think it means Miranda likes to sing. You think it's her first and last name. So that's why it was so confusing to everyone. And that was just my mistake, because when I see the Miranda Sings channel, I don't see it as her first and last name. I see it as her first name and her activity and her hobby. Like, so in my head, it wasn't obvious that that was her last name. It was, so anyway, but I get that question all the time. People are like, in the first episode, it says Miranda Sings 08, but then in the fourth episode, it looks like it's hard for you to come up with your last name, but you already know your last name because it's in episode 1. But it's not her last name. So anyway, that was a very long explanation, but I've seen that question a lot. Be Happy said, can you and Angela and Francesca and Steve and Eric all live stream episode 1? I wish. I could probably get Angela and Eric to do it. Francesca lives in New York City, so I don't ever see her. And Steve is really busy and just hard to get a hold of, and he doesn't have social media. This like isn't really his thing. Like, he's just a comedian and a great actor and focuses on that. So I don't know if I could pin him down to do one. But Eric and Angela are usually pretty game. Michael Bateman said, when Miranda was crying and yelling at Bethany, was that your actual voice? Please respond. Yes, it was my actual voice. What do you mean? Gosh, my kitten is being so cute. Regina said, I always lose it when she said, why is it funny that someone would love me? She's just a little girl who wants to be loved. I know, it's so sad. Spooky Dante said, been here since the beginning of the live stream. Hey, what up, girl? Thank you. Isabel said, are you hoping for a season 3? Of course I am. I think it would be awesome to have a season 3, but I don't get a say in that. You know, all I can say is like, yeah, I would love to do one, but it just depends on the views, and it depends on a lot of things. It depends on if the views are really good, and it depends on if Netflix wants to bring it back, and it depends on if, you know, Netflix would prefer to do this show over other shows. You know, Netflix is a huge company that's super, super successful, and they have so many shows coming out constantly. So they've already given me 2 seasons. And so it might come to a point of them being like, well, she had 2 seasons and they were great, but now, you know, we'd really like to give this show a chance. So let's put money into this show instead. Or, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that, like, I think, obviously it's helpful. The more people who watch season 1 and 2, the more likely it is we'll probably get a season 3, but I genuinely have no idea. I don't even know how it works. Like, I'm shocked I even got a season 2. I'm so grateful for a season 2. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Sarah said, are you going to watch tomorrow at midnight? I think I am. I'm really nervous. I don't know if I will be able to watch it because I'm watching it on Friday night. I'm throwing an event for like the cast and for family and friends and like some YouTubers. So I know I'm going to watch 2 episodes at that. So maybe I'll wait to watch it then, but I don't know. Let's see. Looking for questions on Twitter. Oh, okay. Here's one. Leah said, I feel like on season 1, you looked about to break character a lot. Is it going to be like that in season 2? I don't think so. I don't think I break in season 2. I definitely laugh a lot, and we have really funny bloopers from season 2. I hope I get to post those. But season 1, I was constantly breaking. I couldn't hold it together. But season 2, I feel like I did a better job. I don't think I ever break in season 2 on camera. I don't think you'll see that. Bree said, what did you do today? I collabed with RCL Beauty today. It was really fun. She's really sweet. Someone asked if I run the Haters Back Off accounts. I do not. There are people at Netflix who run those accounts. So last year, I was like a little bit more involved with the social media stuff. Like I would post stuff on their social medias, but this year I'm not involved at all. So everything they're posting is just like their marketing team doing all of that fun stuff. Let's see. How many episodes is Joey in? He's in 1 episode. Oh, JD Savage said, I feel like you did look more like you than Miranda because you have perfectly straight hair in the show. Well, the reason we did that is because I wanted Miranda to have messy, crazy hair, but there's something called continuity. And it's really hard to have, my hair is not predictable. So like when it's curly, it's like sometimes really curly and sometimes kind of kinky and sometimes like just no way to know what it's gonna do. So if we're shooting a scene and we're shooting like this half of the scene on this day, and then 2 weeks later we're shooting the second half of the scene, but my hair decided to be really curly the first day and then not really as curly the second time, then my hair wouldn't match in those 2 scenes and it would look like it was shot on different days. So I was trying to think of hairstyle that I could do as Miranda that would look consistent throughout the whole season and also would match my family. So I have to look like my sister and my mom, and they both have straight hair. Well, Francesca's a little curly, but so I was like, if we all have stick straight hair, it'll make us look more related, and then we won't have to worry about continuity. So that's why we did the stick straight hair. I'll answer one more, and then I'm gonna go. Nevada Connolly said, in your opinion, what season is better? That is a very hard question to answer, and I don't think I can answer it. They're so different. They are so different. So I can't really pick a favorite. Season 1 is my baby. Like season 1 is something I worked on for like 7 years or something insane. Like, so season 1 is so near and dear to my heart, and like the storylines and like, you know, that I wanted to start and end with what I've said 18 times in this video, in this live stream. I knew about that for so many years. And so to see that come to life, and it was such a dream come true, the whole experience, like the amount of times I went home and just cried because I couldn't believe my dreams were coming true during season 1. So season 1 is so special to me and like so near and dear to my heart. But season 2 was such a surprise. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we got a season 2, that we had to make a lot of new things. So season 1, it was like we had been developing these stories and these characters for years and years and years. And season 2, it was like some stuff we'd been developing for a while, but a lot of stuff was brand new for me. So it's like younger and fresher and different. So season 1 is like really like so close to my heart. I can't even tell you. Season 2 is so special in so many different ways. Like I feel like I feel like I put more work into season 2 than in season 1. So it's near and dear to my heart because of that. And like, I love this cast and I love this story, but it's just different. Like season 1 is drier and like, more awkward maybe. And season 2 is like crazier and quicker, like quicker paced, and more happens, like way more happens in season 2 than in season 1. So it's just a lot faster. But I don't know that I can pick a favorite. They're just so different. Like there are scenes from season 2 that I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. And there are scenes from season 1 that I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. So I don't know. I don't think I could pick a favorite. They're just really different. They're very, 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 very different. So I don't think I could pick one. I know I said I was going to do one more, but I lied. I'm going to do one more because I can't believe anyone's still watching. Molly Catherine, here's a spoiler alert. She said, what season is more emotional? I think season 2 is more emotional. They're both emotional, but they're emotional in different ways. See, I think season 2 is more emotional. I think it is. Like, oh man, I don't want to give anything away, but the show does come out in like 30 hours, 20, 30 hours. So I feel like I could maybe give something away. I'll say, yeah, I think season 2 is more emotional. I think season 1 is more like, there's more like gut wrenching emotional moments. Like it's not that bad in season 2, but I will say that like, I remember one day on set, it was one of the last days on set, and I can't really want to say this. I shouldn't say anything, but oops. And it was the director came up to me and he goes, "Man, I feel like you've been crying every day for weeks," and he wasn't wrong. Yeah, season 2 is really emotional, but it's also really funny. Like I don't know. It's not like a drama. Like season 2 is not a drama. It's not like just all emotional. It's a lot of funny stuff too. So anyway, I don't know. I'm gonna go, but I love you guys and thanks for watching this with me. I cannot believe how many of you are still watching. It's crazy, but I'm so excited for season 2. It comes out tomorrow at midnight Pacific Standard Time. Oh my God. And I hope you guys like it. And even if you don't like it, please still be nice. But yeah, I mean, if we want a season 3, how I think is like through viewership and ratings and stuff. So like, just watch it with your family and your friends. Tell people to watch it and give it a good rating and give it a good review. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or if that's illegal or I don't know how things work on the internet. But let me know what you think. I think for the first couple of days, maybe be nice because I'm really sensitive to it. And like, just tell me if you like it. And then after a while, you maybe can be more critical. But I feel like the first couple of days, I'm just going to be a basket case. So I really hope you guys like it, and I'm really nervous, and I've worked really hard on it, and yeah, that's all. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.